hoping you can hear me over the noise of the engine. I am going to meet with a really good friend of mine, and we're going to go to Goring Gap, which is a stretch of green along the beach at Goring by Sea in West Sussex. We are going to go, and I'm going to cook for you. Well, I'm actually cooking for her and me, but you can imagine I'm cooking for you. And she is going to film it. So hopefully you'll get some much better footage than of late. Right, so I have now picked up my lovely friend who is doing this filming. So let me know, is there a difference between this filming and my filming? Anyway, let's go. Let's go, if I can start my van. It is such a beautiful day today. It's very hot. Looking forward to opening all the windows when we get down there. As we drove down here, I was talking to you about the wind turbines that you could see in the distance, but you can't actually see them in this video, so I'll tell you a little bit about it. It is the Rampion wind farm, and it stretches all the way from Worthing past Brighton towards New Haven. 17 miles in total, costing £1.3 billion to build, and it was commissioned in April 18. And the Rampion Wind Farm was named after the county flower of Sussex. It's so busy down here, as you can see, and it's not even school holiday time yet. I'm going to go here to start with. We can always move it. Right, so if you watched my last video, or one of my videos, not my last one, when I was in Cheddar, my disastrous trip to Cheddar, you will remember I ran out of gas. So I have bought a new gas bottle, and it's not one of my favourite things, changing the gas bottle. Gas scares me, I'll be honest with you. But if I'm going to do this cooking to show you, I need to have gas. So we're going to change it now. The gas bottle's under here. I'm so sorry because I do ramble. So it's in this little cupboard here. Until now, I have got a new, whatever these are called. I still can't remember what they're called. This was the old one, regulator. Sounds good, doesn't it? And I fitted a new regulator. If it's not called that, I'm sorry. Right, so we make sure the gas is off to start with, which it is. I mean, there's nothing in there anyway. And then we've got to undo this, which is the opposite way round. So it's, you go right to undo it rather than right to do it up. Okay, and then I'm just going to put this thing back on. Okay, so that's my old one. So we'll pop that there somewhere. So this is my new one. Get this off, screwing it right. I'm going to put this on, screwing it left. But I think that's okay. Guys, look, we seem to have hose in the way. We've done it. We've done it. So, guys. Right, it's a lovely hot day, as I said, and it is now actually lunchtime. So I'm going to cook some lovely lunchtime summer food that you could cook at home or in your van. So we have got rice, chicken kebab and yogurt and cucumber, otherwise known as rice with tadik, which is a crispy bottom to it, Joojeh kebab, which is chicken kebab, and Mast Khiar, or as I think in Greek it's called tzatziki. None of this, I always have to put a disclaimer out, but this is how I make these things and how I've been taught, like many years ago, from my ex-in-laws, lovely people. So these are my adaptations. I'm not saying this is the correct way to make it, but enjoy. Right, so first of all we're going to do the rice. Okay, so I'm using basmati rice, and you want probably about half a mug per person if you like a lot of rice. I would say realistically Well, we'll see when I've cooked it, but I would say that was probably about enough for 2 people if you don't want loads. So first of all, you've got to wash it. So I have some water. So I have just washed my hands, but you want to wash this rice probably a couple of times. You just want to get rid of all the starch, and we are going to rinse it again, but you want to wash it before you start cooking it. So you can see it's all starchy in there. You just want to watch it. Obviously you can cook rice anyhow you want. This is just the way I'm doing it. If you want to just cook it normal, or English way should I say, you can just do it that way. I don't know if there's a gas airlock or something, but that one doesn't want to light now. Oh, it smells of gas though, doesn't it? Right, so we've put the rice on here, and we're going to put a bit of salt in it. And if you wanted to add boiling water, it would obviously cook it a lot quicker, but you want to cook it until it's not quite cooked. So until the rice has got a tiniest bit of bite to it left, which probably, I would say, takes around 10 minutes or so. I'll put the lid on that. Right. So while that rice is cooking, I'm going to have a sip of coffee. We're going to make the yoghurt and cucumber while that's cooking. But for this you need cucumber, garlic, mint, salt, and you can have a little bit of fresh mint if you want. So this is the way that I have found the best way to do it. This seems like it's taking a lot of time because I'm explaining it to you, but in fact it wouldn't normally take, it doesn't really take this long. So I found the quickest way to do this is you don't worry about peeling it. It has been washed. You want to take the seeds out because the seeds make it very wet, and also they're not very good for your digestion. So you take the seeds out like that. I'm going to cut it in 4. So then, the best way I found is you want to grate these. So I'm grating it on here, and you'll find that if you just do it like this, do you see? You grate it down to the skin, and you can get rid of the skin. Just saves time peeling it, really. You can also chop the cucumber if you prefer a more chunky sort of yoghurt and cucumber side bit. Or you can leave the skin on if you prefer it. This is quite runny. Can you see that water there? And you want to get rid of all this water, so you're going to put salt on it. Mix it up a little bit. And you're just going to leave that for maybe 5 minutes. What the salt is doing is it will draw all the water out of the cucumber. Right, so garlic, depends how much you like garlic. I'm just going to do 1, and we're going to put the rubbish up here for now. So I'm going to have some coffee while I'm just waiting 5 minutes for that cucumber to dewaterify. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes, and I don't know if you can see. I'm just going to do it with a spoon rather than poking my fingers in. The pink stuff is the salt because it's Himalayan rock salt, but if you can see, all the water is coming out, and that's what you want to get rid of. So you can either squeeze this just like this with a spoon, or just pick it up in your hands, squeeze it out, but you want to get rid of all of that excess water. So I'm going to tip that out now. Just tip it. You can change this to how you want it, you know, try it and see how you like it. I've got some dried mint here, and I'm going to put some dried mint in and some garlic. You can leave out the garlic. Obviously you don't want to add any more salt because it'll still have salt on it from where you sprinkled it on. So I like garlic, so we're going to squeeze one garlic in there. And then you want some natural Greek yogurt. Yep, so now you just mix it all up. And hopefully you'll see it's looking vaguely like the stuff you would get in the shops, but far more delicious, if I say so myself. The thicker the yogurt, the better, really, I think. The one I've got there is not a particularly thick one, but if you want to add more cucumber, you can. If you want to add more mint, you can. And then you'll see at the end, I'm going to put it in a little decorative pot. And that is done. So we can leave that. I've got the lid here. These are very handy. And I've also got some fresh mint from my garden, which we will put on top. So I'm going to clear up here for a second, and then we will get on and put the chicken on. Okay, so you can see now that you can see how much this rice is sort of swollen up. It's filling up a lot more of the pan. And what you want to do is just, without burning your fingers, you just either break one with your finger or just taste it, and it should have a little bit of bite. I suppose, like if this were spaghetti, you would say it was al dente, but you want it mostly cooked, but just with a little bit of bite. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to strain that off, and I'm going to rinse it again, either with hot or cold water, it doesn't matter, but we just want to rinse off the rest of that starch. So I will come back to you once I've drained it. Okay, so I've now drained the rice and I've rinsed it. And now you want to have this gas on really low. It's a bit tricky sometimes in these vans to get it low without it turning off totally. You want it quite low. And I know what you're thinking at the moment. Wendy, we just want to do a quick meal. But sometimes if you're away, I think, in your van, you do them all a lot slower. And sometimes it's nice to spend time and just cook a nice meal. So this is not an instant meal, but it is an easy to do meal. Relatively easy to do. So I'm just trying to get the rest of the water out of here, and then we're going to put some butter in, if I know where my butter is. Okay, so you're going to put a bit of butter in the bottom of this saucepan now. And if you had a knife, which I have over here. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But you want to make a little pyramid, and you put a few, like 3 air holes in, and you want to put a tiniest bit of this in a mug before I put it in, because I don't want it to accidentally tip in the whole lot. Right, there we go. You just want that little bit of water. What you're meant to do with this is either get a piece of kitchen paper and put it underneath the lid to catch the steam, or a very clean tea towel you could use. I'm just going to block this air hole up with some clean tissue that I've got, because I forgot to bring the kitchen roll. So we just want to try and seal the steam outlet and hope it works. Right, so all we have to do is leave that now and carry on with the rest. Okay, so I have left this to marinate overnight. Obviously, if you're in your van and you've got a fridge, let it marinate overnight. If you haven't and you still want to cook it, just leave it for a few hours. And I will show you a bit of this earlier, splattered on me. So here is a really, really quick zoom through me making the marinade the night before, and it was onion, lemon, grating it into a tub, adding some salt, pepper, yogurt, olive oil and a little bit of saffron I had over, and I'm just about to repeat all of these ingredients now, and you'll also see them at the end of the video if you decide to make it. This is yogurt with grated onion, lemon juice, olive oil and a little bit, I didn't have any, of saffron. Saffron is not obligatory, and these are just cubes of chicken, and it's been sat in this overnight. So normally you would now put these on skewers, and I did bring some, as you can see, I brought some wooden skewers. But I think I'm just going to put it on my preheated grill pan because, well, I think the wooden skewers would burn. Okay, so I've preheated this grill pan, probably not enough, and I've put some foil underneath. So as I say, I've just been told that if you want to use wooden skewers, you're meant to soak them first. So there we go. We both learned something. Well, I did. So these, as I say, you would normally put them on metal skewers. This is a sort of traditional marinade for lots of bits of chicken, isn't it? You could use a tandoori sauce or a tikka sauce or whatever. This is just sort of lemony and oniony. You now clean up where you've blobbed yoghurt all over your van and your shirt and your worktops. Yeah. And then you wash this thoroughly and you wash your hands because it's raw meat. So that's what I'm going to do. It smells pretty amazing, I have to say. The cooking, that is, not the sea. Although that probably smells nice too. Right, so I've put the yoghurt in this little jar. I'm one of those people. Are you one of these people? Or is it just me? I collect jars because I always think that would come in handy. Anyway, this is a little jar and I've put the yoghurt in there and I'm going to decorate it with a little bit of mint from my garden, which I've washed. You don't have to do all this. It just, you know, it just looks a little bit sweet, I think. And then we've got a nice spoon. Toasted a few tomatoes. Get a bit of lemon for our chicken kebabs. Get rid of that. And we're going to plate the rice up now and the chicken. So this is our rice and you can see it's really, really fluffy and really nice. I don't know how the bottom bits come out, I will admit, because I found it hard to take the temperature down too much on my cooker. So we're just going to put a bit of rice there and let's have a look how it came out. Ah, look at that. So can you see underneath? This is what you're looking for, and if I'd have tipped it out it would have made a lovely crispy bottom bit. And this tadek, as they call it, is really, really nice and crispy. And as I say, if you tipped the whole lot out you would see, I can't really do it here, but you would see that would have made a big circle on the bottom. So you can put that by the side. It's not burnt rice, okay guys, not burnt rice, it's tadek, and it could be a little bit more brown than that, but I'd say that came out quite well. Let's get our chicken and get eating. Okay, so I would say when you're cooking this, might be worth putting a little bit more oil on because these have come out slightly dry. But I'll take the best ones here. Oh, I like that one. That one's nice and crispy. There we go. So, what a lovely lunch or dinner for a lovely sunny day. And when I'm cooking this, it always reminds me of my ex-parents-in-law. Lovely, lovely people. And whilst I was cooking, my mother-in-law in Persian would always say to me, "Don't burn it, Wendy. Na Susie Wendy John," she'd say. And I would say, "It doesn't matter. Abe nadari Maman John." And she would say, "Abe Dari, it does matter." And then we'd just both laugh for ages. And I can always picture that every time I'm cooking Persian food. I can just hear her laughing, saying, "It does matter, don't burn it." So that's my lovely mother-in-law and father-in-law, who are sadly no longer with us, ex-parents-in-law. Anyway, I hope you do try this and enjoy, and let me know how it turns out. Until next time, happy travelling, stay safe and keep cool. Bye. And can I just have the single cone with chocolate?
Small, medium or large?
Small, please. Okay. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Time to go home. So I hope you enjoyed this. Here's a quick recap of the ingredients, and I would use a little bit more olive oil than that, maybe a couple of teaspoons or more. Do let me know how it comes out if you try this, and it would be lovely if you wanted to subscribe, and see you next time.